Okay, so since your guys open defect, that's good. So again, the same thing. What you have to get confirmation from your lead, and then you have to proceed with the defect. Okay, um, you have to remember just because you found some issue doesn't mean it's an issue. Okay, um, it's not necessary it should be issue. You have to confirm with your lead. Okay, always confirm with your lead, and or send an email, okay, to your lead saying that, just put an email like this and take a screenshot of this defect, and tell the recipient handling is, can I open a defect here? Okay, this will help you out, for your email confirmation that you have a really evidence, that you confirm with your team, you confirm with your lead, and you're proceeding with that. Okay. Um, But once you get experience, you will know what's all about. You will know because you will be working for 1, 2 years, 3 years applications. You will be knowing how to know build defects, and it may not be really necessary to get confirmation moving forward. Okay, but to start with, you want to do that. Okay, okay. So, so here we'll go for various documents. Okay, so today's class, right? Today we will discuss various documents. Okay. So here we'll start with BRDs. Okay. So what is BRD document? BRD is business requirement document. Okay. And what does it contain?
Hi Manu, the requirement of what business wants in their like software or like whatever they are requirement in that discussed in that business requirement document.
Okay. Yeah. That's yeah. That will is the information that it contains. Okay. So here, okay, just give me a second. Okay. No, you know what? Let's see this. Okay, let's see the document. How does it looks like? Okay, so normal the definition goes like document consists of 10 to 20% of use cases, business modeling, risk analysis, and budget information. Okay, so that's one. But you know what? Let's see the document actually. Because you want to see the document. How does that looks like, and what's the document is all about. Okay, so you can do, I'll be giving you access for this Google Drive by end of today. So you can also look through these documents. Look, there's a lot of more information there. Okay, you can view it and try to understand what is this. Okay, so here we go to testing documents and see this business requirements. Okay, so let's see here the MasterCard. So this is the MasterCard BRD actually, and okay, so this is the business requirement document. Okay, so let's show you. Okay, so this is actually business requirement, documents, MasterCard business document, and you see a lot of information here. Okay, what is a summary? What is a project purpose? It's a lot of information. Okay, so as a tester, you may not really necessary to understand all these things. Okay, it's really not required. But what is required from this document is, okay, is BRD, so somebody asked a question, right? Is BRD written by BA or QA? Yes, it's a business. Okay, the business analyst, they are responsible for, for these documents, not QA. QA, the only reason why QA need this is to understand what's going on in the project, so that you can write your test cases. So far we have written test cases from the application. Okay, the application was ready, so you have done that, but it's not really necessary. You'll be lucky every time. You have to always write your test cases based on these documents. Okay, so we'll see how we can do it. Okay, one of the examples we'll take here. But this is, this is what you get. This is the requirement, and you have supposed to write your test cases. This is for ETL perspective, so we'll just not worry about it. But this is what it's all this about. Okay, you have to read each and everything, try to understand what's going on with it. Okay, and okay, so once you see what's happening, you want to underline what is important for you, for your test cases, and for your testing perspective. You want to see some people have underlined, so that might be important for them, and try to make use of that and start writing your test cases. Okay, so this is BRE document. So, okay, so we'll go to that. Okay, somebody asked what's the difference between BRD and software specification. Okay, we'll go to that. Okay, we have list of documents here. Okay, so we'll be coming to that. So that's called system requirement specification. So we'll go to that. Okay, next we'll see here FRD documents. FRD, see this BRD is more related to ETL perspective. FRD is more related to functional perspective. Okay, so that's actually the difference between BRD and FRD. Okay, but it again depends on the projects, how the project is all about. But mostly that's the difference. Okay, so let's go to one FRD document. So this is FRD functional requirement document. Okay, and if you are writing your test cases, your QA, let's say your QA, and you're supposed to write your test cases, so this is the document you have to. Okay. And based on this, you have to write your test cases. Let's see here. Let's try to figure it out. So this is the requirement. Okay, this is the requirement, and so this is what they're saying. This is functional requirement, but you need to understand based on this document. Not always it's cakewalk. Like we had, we have written test cases based on what application, but really that's not always the case. This is how your document may look like. It's not always, but it's one of the examples that document will be looking at. So you have all the information here. Okay, so you have to make up with this information. Let's try to understand what's all about. Okay, let's try to see what this information actually helps you to write your test cases. Okay, so let's see. Let's go to our application, more application, and see. Okay, so here what it has is, if you try to see here, it says prescriber first name maps to first name field value. That means they're trying to say that you want to test this information. Okay, this is the field value, and this is static test you want to test. Okay, first name. Okay, so you don't have this first name and last name, only name. Okay, that means both. And then you have this last name. Okay, and then you have address. Address, and of course you have to have this address here. Okay. So that means you want to test this field values. Okay, so far we have done, right? That means you have to do all positive scenarios, negative scenarios, and with possible boundary values. That's all this. And then you have the city. Okay, the city, state, and so on. Okay, so that means they're trying to say that you have to test these field values. That's what this document says. This is really not the requirement for this application. Okay, I'm just trying to relate that if you get this such kind of document, you have to understand the document and start writing your test cases, because not always you'll be having this application ready-made for you. Okay, you want to try to understand here that this is what they're trying to say. That when they're trying to say that it's an functional application, and they're trying to say this is the first name is actually the static text, and the field value is, you want to test that field value, is it accepting numbers, is it accepting alphabets, and so on. Okay, so this is what the FRD document is all about. Okay, you want to write?
I got a question, man.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, last time I had prepared that one the billing address and the shipping address. I put different address, name and address. Could I put like this one?
So your question is that you are saying that billing address,
And the shipping address, yeah.
Right. So they are different, right?
Yeah, I put different.
Yeah. So it is different, Oh, okay. Let's see. Name and shipping address. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This one, right? You're saying shipping address is different shipping address. Yeah, you can do it. You can do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Because see, the reason you have this billing address and shipping address is actually for your credit card number. That has to match with your credit card number. Okay. And the shipping
okay.
Actually that package which is delivering it to shipping.
Oh, it's not a different things, right? No, the billing means your full address, like a full information, and shipping means just name, address, and age. Right?
No. The billing.
No, that is not.
Billing means the credit card address bill, where the bill actually, because this has to match with credit card information. If this is not matching, your credit card will be blocked.
Okay.
Okay, so this billing address is supposed to be a credit card address, where actually, so that's the difference. And shipping is where you would like to ship. That means you can also ship to your friend, right? You can ship your friend, or you can ship to, someone else. Okay.
Gotcha.
What it means.
Gotcha. Okay. And then I had one more thing confused now.
Sure.
And then second or third day's class, we did this comment and bug and everything. We did it like this, but how I can do that? But I forgot this one. I did not practice that one too.
Oh, you mean how to open this bug? You didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That's okay.
Can you show me that one, please?
Okay, so you mean how to open the defects?
What is that?
How to open the defects? You're saying?
Yeah, defect, comment, and that one. You make it for 1, 2, 3, 4 column. You comment like this.
Oh, in Rally, right? In Rally.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So let's. Now you can go to the previous classes, but let me show you.
Oh, that plant, right?
Yeah, you have to go to the previous classes and see. But here, let me show you pretty quick here in 2 minutes. So that to put some idea here. Okay. So if you're here and you want to put enter this, go to the test cases. Once you go to
gotcha.
Right. Let's say let's say now I want to edit this test case. I'll go here and
gotcha.
And you know what? I can add my test case.
Right? Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay. I got it.
So that's how you can do it.
Okay.
But yeah, if you need more detailed information, you want to go to these classes, and if you still are not able to understand, you can call me. We can have this team here, and I'll try to show you all this stuff.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, so let's move forward. Okay, so here, so this is the FRD document. Okay, any questions in these two documents, BRD and FRD? Okay. Then you have somebody asked, right? System requirement specification, that is SRS. So somebody asked what's the difference between the software specification and BRD. So BRD is actually, business requirement. SRS is system specification. That means it contains all the information about hardware information. Okay, how many server we are using, how many locations are we going to connect, right? And how many devices we are going to access. And all those things will contain a SRS, system requirement specification, the name itself, right? So you know what? Let's check it out here. Let's see here. Okay, normally you don't really require as a QA, you may not really always require this SRS document, but yes, good to know, right? It's good to know. You need to check it out and see if it's helpful for you. Okay. See, here's the thing, right? This is a system information. What's the server? How many people are accessing? All this information, and so this is more related to hardware perspective. Hardware because it contains the system information. Okay, so that's it. And business requirement is where it's important for testers to write your test cases, not from SRS. SRS, you cannot write test cases from SRS document. I mean, normally, okay, it's normally you don't do that.
It's documented in technical document, right? All these system related things.
Yeah, it's all these are technical information. Yes, it contains all the technical information.
So we will have all these documents for a project.
For project, you'll be having all of these documents, but it's really not required for your access or something. See, it's not really required. Everything you might have access, but it depends on the project, though. But it's on the project, but it's not necessary that you'll be having access to all of this.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so that's so yeah. I'll you know what? I'll just give you access for this Google Drive, and you can look at this all these documents, see, so that you will get some idea what this.
We will have permission for download as well.
I'm sorry, what?
Can we download those documents?
Oh, I'll be giving you access to the Google Drive. So you can you can access this after this.
No, only view, or we can edit, download as well.
You can view, and you can download too. You can download from there. So
Okay.
Okay. So if you see here, a lot of people are having access here. So this is being by 570 people. So I'll be adding you too. Okay. So you can download it, and that will come under Shade Drive under this, and you can use it. Just like the shades will be showing up here. So okay, so let's go to next. Next we have this PDM. PDM is physical data model. Okay, so what does it contain? It contains information of physical entity of the database. Okay. What is the physical entity of the database? Okay, so table is actually the physical entity of a database. So let's see how this PDM looks like. Okay, okay, so I'm muting everyone. If anyone has any questions, unmute and you can go ahead. Okay, so PDM, okay, good. So this is called physical data model. Okay, PDM is physical data model, and it contains information of physical entity of a database. That means tables. Okay, contains information about the table. Let's see here.
Hi Manu. Do we have live full-fledged training of QA manual, or just we have theoretical? Like most of the time in training, you are saying that this work is not like that. Just we are giving example. So, like, do we have any live training?
Live training for what? Like for documents or?
No, for QA manual, like for how, like in corporate, how we have to work in Rally or any, like in upcoming classes, Jira and all tools, how we are using in corporate like that. Because most of the times, we are theoretically reading everything that these, and you are supposed to say that like these are not like that. Have to be there and read it from your document, but in real time we have to not from read it from the document, right?
In real time, you have to, yeah, you have to read these documents, right? You have to read these documents and you have to start writing your test cases. That's how it works in real.
So just my one question is that, is there any live, like a GMO online is okay, one project in which you give us all hint also, but like do you in the last of the class sessions, do you have any live training for other projects or only the GMO online we have to practice?
Ah, okay, I got you. So you need another application to test, right?
Yeah, like full-fledged, so that we have confidence that okay, if somebody will give us work, so we can do it.
Okay, okay, sounds good. I understood your point. So yes, I know. You know what? I'll be giving one more homework so that it's other than GMO. Okay, you'll be having a different application altogether. Now, once you get that application, try to find bugs in that. So I'll be giving you homework by today. Does it make sense?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay,
There.
that's other than GMO. So
Thank you.
in a GMO, I explained you have found something, you're good, so that's good. But you want to know another application so that you're more confident on what you're trying to work, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll be giving you another application to test. You can write test cases for that, and based on this application, okay, and you can execute that and open defects. Okay, that should be good.
And this time, like if I'm like, I will send you by through the mail. And this time, if I write the test cases, can you like, could you check the all the test cases that it is up to like corporate, or it is not, like it is just it's okay for right now, but it is not good for corporate like that.
Sure, sure, I can check. Okay, I can check. And yeah,
Okay.
send me an email whenever you're ready so that I can check it. Okay, maybe not in the class
Okay.
because we'll take too much time on this, right? But I'll be checking free time, and I'll let you know by email or through phone. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Manu.
Okay. So this is a PDM. Okay, it's physical data model. So this contains information of the table. Okay, you see this here. This is the table, and which table is going. So this is more ETL perspective. Okay, it's not for QA. It's not really for QA, but for ETL perspective. But we are learning here documents. Okay, so if you see here, this all the information, and there is one more thing called ER diagram, that is entity relationship diagram. See here. That means this shows which primary going is to where, and which is a foreign key onto this, where is the candidate key, which is the natural key. So all this information, right? Because you need to start writing your test cases. Okay. Again, this is for ETL. Okay, don't get confused. But based on this, you have to start write your test cases. Okay, this is a good document for your ETL perspective. Okay, not PDM, ER diagram. Okay, that ER diagram is pretty more big, and that is you have to request from either from architect guy, or you have to find out in the SharePoint. In the SharePoint will be there. Mostly it will be there in the SharePoint. You have to download it and see what's the architect of this, and try to see if it makes sense for your testing perspective. Okay. So this is the PDM. This contains information about physical entity of database, that is table. Next, there is there's also something called LDMs. That's logical data modeling. Okay, that contains information of logical entity of a database. The logical entity is views. Okay, so it's similar to PDM, but only the difference is it contains information about views. Okay, so this is all the information contains which what are the information, what is going, and what is the relationship, and all those things it contains in this LDM document. Okay. Next, let's go to this HLD. There's some high-level design document. So in this, what you do is in the high-level design document, so it contains information about, okay, let's take an example. It contains, call flows, okay, call flows, right? So once, it is like a flow diagram, okay, flow diagram which contains all the information. Let's take an example here, okay? Let's say you're calling Bank of America, okay? You're calling Bank of America, and whenever you call the Bank of America, right, there's no real person who picks up the call, right? At first, nothing is going to happen. First thing is there is something called web services which runs, okay? That means, there's a recorded welcome to Bank of America, please dial, for your account, please type your SSN, all those things, right? There's a lot of information. So that's web services. It's IVR, interactive, voice response. So what happens, right? Now there is a flow for this, okay? If you put right answer, it goes to another flow. If you put a wrong answer, it goes to another flow. And if you are not saying anything, it goes to a customer service. Okay, so those flows, those are called call flows. Okay, it's represented in square boxes and rectangles and rhombus and all those things, right? So that is high-level design document. So it shows, flow of the call. Let's say if you give wrong information, which flow it is going. If you are giving the right information, which flow it's going. So all those things. So that is, HLD. As of now, I don't have this HLD here, but guess I'll check it out and see if I can get one. Yeah, it's kind of data flow diagram, right? Okay, where it is moved. Yes, that's HLD. That's right. Data flow. How if you're giving wrong information in the phone, and it goes to the next flow, and if you're giving right information, it goes in another flow. If you're not giving any information, then it goes to customer service. All those things. That is documented in HLD design. Okay, and then there's something called TDD. TDD is technical design document which contains information about, let's say, this Artosys. Okay, there is an Artosys that it's a tool. Okay, so we know, right, there's 3 environments, right? That is dev environment, test environment, and production environment. Okay, 3 environments. Now, you have to move the data from one environment to another environment, right? So how are you going to do that? Okay, so now don't tell me that you just use copy paste. Okay, that's really not an answer. There's a millions of records. You cannot copy from one server to another just like that. You use a tool called Artosys. Okay, there's a tool to use to Artosys. That means it, you can use either Informatica, you can use either Informatica, or this is an independent tool. Okay, nothing to do with any other tool. So what does it do is, there's a lot of SQL queries inside there, there's shell scripts, and a lot of things happens, and you need to kick off that job. Okay, there are independent jobs, dependent jobs, and all those things, right? So all this is documented in TDD. Which job to kick when, which is the daily jobs. Okay, there are daily jobs which automatically gets triggered. Okay, and there are manual jobs which you need to trigger, so that data, whatever specific data you're looking for, will be moving into this environment. And then you can start this. So all this thing, right, is called technical design document. It contains information about which job to kick, which job to stop, which job has been failed. A job can be failed, right? Like a SQL query is not good, something got screwed, and job gets failed. So all this will be documented here. Okay, then there is something called STM. STM is source to target mapping document. So let's look here. Okay. So here, if you see this, Okay, good. So let's take this example. Okay, sorry. Okay. So maybe there's no sound, right? Okay, now I think everyone able to hear it. Okay. So okay, let me repeat this. Thanks for that. Okay. Now this is okay. This is called STM. Okay, source to target mapping document. Okay, what is it? So it's now you see this BDW. BDW means business data warehouse. Okay, there is a BDW and EDW. BDW is business data warehouse. EDW means enterprise data warehouse. Okay, it contains information about this target. You see this? These are the target columns: address ID, party ID. So all these are target columns, column name, and then you have this data type. Okay, this is BDW business data warehouse data type. What column has its data type? Integer, variable character, date function, and all those things. Okay, then you have this BDW PK. PK is primary key. Okay, if you see this primary key is supposed to be one, right? It should be one, but here there are too many. Okay, so that means this is called a composite primary key. Okay, there are too many primary keys. Then you have this. Okay, this is reference code and reference table. If you have this reference, you have to use this reference when you write your SQL query. Okay, and then you have. So this was all about this target, and then you have this source. Okay, this is all about source here. Then you have source columns, source data type, and this is transformation logic. Okay, business logic where you have to start writing your test cases based on this business logic. Okay, most probably it will be staging area. Not really the source staging is really considered as a source. Okay, if there's too much data and you don't want to mess up with the source data, then you want to use this. Okay, so this will be mostly a staging area. What will be and this you have to write your talking. So this is all information what it contains in STM, source to target mapping document. Okay, go move pretty quick here. We're running behind. Any questions? Okay, so oops, sorry. So use case. So use case you are not using here. Use case is actually done by the business analyst. Okay, you're not using use case in the here anywhere. It would be in a business requirement document. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the next one. This is test plan document. So, okay, we also have this test plan document. Let's pretty quickly check here what it has written and stuff. Okay, so I'll be giving homework once it's ready. So, what is the test plan? The test plan is a high-level document. Okay, it's prepared by the lead. And what does it contain? It contains a lot of information, like what is a test plan identifier, features to be tested, features not to be tested, test deliverables, testing tools, and so on. Okay, that's the test plan. Okay, see here so many options here. So this is what it contains. It contains all the information about testing. Who prepares this? QA lead prepares it. Okay, that's the test plan. And you have this, also there's one more thing, this is test strategy document. The test strategy document is again prepared by the QA lead. What does it contain? It contains test levels, roles and responsibilities, testing tools, risk and mitigation, test schedule, test priorities, and so on. Okay, and sometimes, most of the time, actually, at work they will be taking as test plan and test strategy document as one, as same. Okay, so go with the flow. Don't argue with them. But technically, these two are different. Why? Because test plan is how you plan. That means how you're planning. But test strategy is like if there's any risk and it shows up in between, how are you going to continue? Shows in the test strategy documents. Okay, not in test plan. Okay. So that's, but at work they will take both as same. So go with the flow. No need to worry. Okay. And there is something called test cases. The test cases we know, right? It's high-level document prepared by the QA analyst. It contains, what does it contains? It contains test case ID, objective, steps to perform, expected result, pass, fail, comment. Okay, that's the test cases. And let's go pretty quick here. Migration document. So what is the migration document? Okay, so this migration document is used. Let's say if a new guy get hired in the company, right? New guy hired and they're migrating some data that is from Teradata to Oracle. Let's say they are migrating some data which is there. So there's a lot of information, right? Because there is a Teradata SQL is completely different, Oracle SQL is completely different, and there's a lot of people working on. And let's say one guy left the job, right? One guy just left the job. Now, the only guy who was doing a lot of things is gone. So, but now the new guy comes in, right? They have to know what the process is. That's the reason we need this migration document and see how they are migrating data, what are the important features, what is functionality to be migrated, so all those things. That's the migration document. Okay, so let's move pretty quick here. So this is all about documents. Let's move to SDLC process. Okay, any questions so far? Just quick here. Okay, so now this SDLC. So this is a methodology. Okay, software development life cycle. Okay, so what is this? So this is a framework. Okay. So somebody asked, right, why do we need migration document? As I told you, right, we need migration document to know, let's say some guy, left the job, right? He left the job and he was the main guy who was actually working with migrations of, Teradata to Oracle. Now if that guy is not there, somebody has to do, right? So then they hired some guy, but that guy is new. You don't know anything. So in that case, you want to see how this migration document is there and what they are trying to migrate the data from Teradata to Oracle. So that is the use of this migration document. Okay, so let's go here. SDLC, let's see, SDLC. So what is SDLC? It's a process, okay? It's a framework, okay? It's a framework and okay, so somebody asked, right, some previous matter, somebody asked, hey, can you give access to SDLC? Okay, so SDLC is not a tool, it's not a software, it's a framework. That means it's from a management perspective, it's from a management perspective that if you're, programming, if you're developing something, and if you're testing something, all this you have to do in a proper way, right? You have to follow the proper procedure, and you have to follow the company policy. So that's the reason you need this SDLC process. Okay, so that's a framework that describes the activity performed in each stage, okay, in software development. That's the SDLC. Now we'll just talk about this waterfall methodology here. What happens in this waterfall, right? So there's a different phases. We go through different phases actually. So let's see here. SDLC. Okay. So actually there is. So there's 10 phases. There's 10 phases, but I'll stick to 5. Okay. I'll stick to only 3, 6. Okay, 6 phases. Okay. If you want more information, you can go ahead and check all this 10 phases. That should be fine. Here I'm just sticking to 6 phases here. Okay. So in the requirement phase, first starts with the requirement. Okay. What happens in the requirement is the BA guy, BA will prepare all these documents. It's normally the job of a business analyst, prepares all these documents and puts all the documents in the requirements. So this is the requirements, and they will put all into one document, and we will be, working on that one. So that's the requirement stage. Next, design phase. What happens in this design phase is architect guy comes into the picture. Now this architect guy does, okay, just look into documents. I know what is supposed to be done. We will be putting all this table here, all these columns here, and all those things is done by this architect guy. That's the design. Implementation phase. What happens in this implementation is programmer. The programmer comes into the picture, thinking, okay, I'll do the coding work. Okay, what are the tables? What are the columns? What is all this work? We'll be working on. So this is the implementation. Programmer's work. Test. Here what we will be coming is QA analyst will be coming here to test. Okay, this is what we will be testing here. And then installation. Installation is more for a middleware team, okay, who pulls up the code, okay, who puts the code from dev environment to test environment, from test environment to production environment. So there's the installation comes into picture, okay. Then you have this maintenance, which normally is for a senior QA and lead, and actually developer actually also work with the developer. See this, if there is any production issues, they will be working on this maintenance phase. So these are the 6 major phases in SDLC, actually in waterfall methodology. Okay, you will be having these 6 major phases. Okay, so let me ask you a question. So as a QA, when does our work starts in this methodology? Can anyone say the answer? As a QA, when does our work starts? Okay. Okay. So our work starts right from requirement phase. Why? Because you're not getting, see, you're not sitting idle for all these phases, right? You're not sitting idle. You have to do something, right? So here the requirements phase, as a QA, what you'll be doing is, you'll be working with your lead, lead and business analyst, saying that, okay, this is the requirement. You'll be doing a lot of brainstorming here. Here is the brainstorming. That means your lead will say, no, we don't have any other environments. There's 3 QA environments and blocked because a lot of people are working and the regression is going on, so we cannot proceed with this. How are we going to proceed with these requirements? Okay, so all this brainstorming work you'll be doing in the requirement session. Okay, you'll be invited into meetings saying that, okay, so this is the thing, how are we going to proceed? Okay, this is the requirement. You can also open issues from the documents too. Okay, that can be also an option, but let's not go into that detail. But then once you are in a lead position or you have experience, you can also open issues in the requirement phase. Okay, so That's the requirements. Then in the design, what you'll be doing as a QA, you'll be working on a lot of documents. You have test plan document, test strategy document, right? You have to prepare all this. Okay, you'll be working on this. And then implementation phase. What QA will be doing here? Let's say you didn't have enough time, right? You only worked on test plan, test strategy document. Implementation, you will start writing your test cases. Okay, test cases should be done before you start testing. So that will be an implementation. Then test. Here you execute your test cases. Okay, here you'll be executing your test cases. Installation phase, you will be coordinating with the middleware teams. Okay, this code is moving from test to production. How are we going to? So you will be coordinating a lot with the team of people and see the installation should be successful. And then maintenance. Normally it will be job of a lead or senior QA who is working on, so that they will be seeing if there is any production issue, how are we going to test it, how are you going to work on it. So that's in the maintenance phase. Okay, so you as a QA will be working right from the beginning. Okay, there's no between, no nothing. You will be working right from the beginning, from brainstorming to preparing all the documents, including your test cases. Okay, so you will not be, as such, you will not be alone preparing the test plan or test strategy document. You will be working with your lead. You have to give inputs to your lead, saying that, hey, you know what, can we add this too? Okay, we are previous project we didn't have this option. Can you add this one too? You want to give the inputs when you are trying to prepare, when your lead is trying to prepare test plan documents. Okay. Okay. Let's move to here. Then, okay, this is the advantage of this waterfall is when you want to say that quality is more important than cost. Okay, this is the advantage of waterfall methodology is the disadvantage of agile. Okay, here quality is more important than cost, then you want to go for waterfall. If you think the cost is more important than quality, then you want to go for agile. Okay, so there are other two. Okay. You can when I give you access to this Google Drive, you can see here. Okay, this will be in this directory number 26. You can go ahead and you can see all these documents are right here. Okay, so you can view this document too. Okay, so here next methodology. So this is again different methodologies. This is derived from SDLC model. That is V-shaped SDLC model. That means you are doing two things simultaneously here. See this? Requirements and production, requirements, specification analysis, system testing, and detailed design, unit testing, so on. You're going into both things simultaneously. Okay, that's called V-shaped SDLC model, and it has its own advantages and disadvantages. Okay, so that's one methodology. Let's go to another methodology. So this, we'll discuss about this agile. So agile is RAD, rapid application model, is a part of the agile. Okay, so agile has a lot of things. Okay, agile is somebody says which methodology you are working. If you say agile, then it's a pretty broad term because agile has Scrum, agile has RAD, rapid application development, agile has Kanban. Okay, it's a lot of things. Okay, so most probably you'll be working on Scrum. Scrum is more famous, but these are also, if you know one methodology, one part of this agile, the rest of this will be similar, not same, similar. Okay. This is agile, we'll work on this on Monday and see agile. Okay, so here this incremental SDLC model. Okay, so here incremental SDLC is like, you have this verification and validation. Okay, the same process, but here you're following the verification and validation of that. Okay, let's move to the next methodology pretty quick. So there is one more thing called spiral SDLC model. Okay, spiral SDLC, that means you have these 4 quadrants. Okay, quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. In this quadrant, you actually similar things. Okay, you have this objectives and constraints, then you identify the risk, and then you see here requirements, design, implement. So here what you move is you go spirally, one after the other, one after the other. So that's the reason it's called spiral SDLC model. Okay, these are various methodologies. Okay, you might be working in any one of them, not all of them. Okay, see, it's not really necessary to use all of them in one project. I've not seen this, but sometimes they might have their own methodology. It's none of them wrong. Okay, what company has is they may invent their own methodology and they might work in that. Okay, so that might up to the whole and soul up to companies discrete. Okay, so that's Spiral. Go to the next. So Agile, we'll talk about this Agile on Monday, and we will go through what are the terms and terminologies. So this is the thing what the Agile contains. Okay, these are the methods in Agile. We have extreme programming. This is extreme programming, RUP, and we'll talk about the Scrum. Okay, we'll see how Scrum works, and there's also something called Kanban. Where these are the methods, various methods to do the same thing. Okay, and so that's pretty much on this. On these methodologies. Any questions so far? Okay.
Could I download that one?
Slide?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, sure. You know what? Actually, this is all you will be having access once you get the Google Drive. Okay. Now.
Okay.
Okay. So you see, this is the location. That is 26th directory. Make sure you remember that. And all of what I told you will be right here. Okay.
Okay.
So I'll send an email by today.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Well, let's go to the next one. Next is SDLC process. Okay. Now, SDLC is more for a development perspective. SDLC is for testing perspective. So, the software testing lifecycle. Okay. So, what you do in this, first thing is you want to prepare the test plan, the test case design. Okay. You have already worked with test case, right? We use Rally. We use design all this test case. That's our test case design. And test plan as a QA, you will be working with lead to prepare test plan. Okay, you may not always whole and soul singly will be doing. You will be working with the team. Okay, you're not alone. You'll not be doing this. But test case, yes, you will be doing this. And we have seen, right? We have seen how to write in Rally. Okay, and the test execution and test log preparation. We have done this. Okay, let me show you pretty quick. Okay, so once you've gone this, let's say test case design, right? So this is what we designed is test case. Okay, this is the test case. And what's the next? Test execution and test log preparation. Yes, so this is execution. We did see here this icon. This is actually called execution. This one, yeah. So this is execution, and we said that successfully executed this test case. Okay, and then what's the next? And log preparation. Okay, log preparation is normally the document which you actually documented. See, for example, this result. So that's a log. Okay, this is a testing log. That means So that's the test log preparation. Okay, and then defect tracking. Okay, we have open defects, right? Let's go here. Okay, and we open this defects, and there is a defect here. And this you get an ID, defect 498. So there's the number you can track, what is happening with that, what's going on with this. So that's called defect tracking. Okay, and then test report preparation. So we have seen this reports too, right? We can generate these two reports, through Rally or this project level reports and team level reports. You can report. So that's about test report preparation. So five important phases: test plan preparation, test case design, test execution, test log, defect tracking, and test preparation. So this is the life cycle of test. Okay, testing life cycle, SDLC. Okay. So we have done all this, right? We have, but only thing is we done in Rally. Okay. That might be any other tool. It can be Jira, it can be in HPLM, it can be any other tool. Okay. It doesn't matter. But we have, the process remains same. The process, whatever you're trying to do, you'll be same. Okay. So again, this document is also there here. STLC.
Hello, hello, Manu.
Yes.
When we write it, like we are writing the test cases, like for example we are writing for the shipping and handling, and it is every time it is $5. So when we are writing the test cases for validation and expected result, we are putting everything. After that, like if we know that like is every time it is not updating correctly, so we have to raise for that defect, right? So for there is a pass education, we have to write down their pass, or we have to write down fail something. Yeah, every time we have to, whenever we write down the test cases, we have to write down pass only.
So if you're getting some issue in any of the test cases, you have to fail the test case.
For all process we have to write down, because the like here is a functional tested GMO website, Manu Mitra. In that we have a lots of test cases, right? But if we have only in one problem and other are not have a problem, so still we have to write down fail.
Right. So yes, that's right. You have to still, because if see, here's the thing. Even if one step fails, let's say you've written 20 steps. Now all these 19 steps are good. Only one step got failed, but the whole test got failed because of one step.
Okay, and at that time we have to like our boss, we have to tell them that it is a, there's a one is failed, that's why we are raising the defect, or we have to ask them first that we have to raise the defect, or yes or no.
Yes. So first thing is you need to coordinate with the lead. Check with them. Okay. If you, let's say you found a defect, right? Let's say you found a defect. Take a screenshot. Use this email. You'll be having this email. Put a screenshot. Put your lead name here. Okay, whatever is the lead. And now manager is not really required at this time. Screenshot. Hey, you know what? Can I open a defect? Put a screenshot and we'll just type it as open a defect. And then once your lead says, okay, you put a screenshot, I'm seeing this shipping and handling issue, can I open this defect? And once if your lead doesn't respond, you can directly go to him, talk to him, and see this is the defect. I want to open defect because this really is, issue.
Okay, but at the time of writing the test case, we have to instead of pass, we have to do fail, right?
Yes, you have to fail. That's right. If you found any issues, okay, you're not going to execute. You're only going to execute once the application has been successfully completed. Okay, only then you will be able to, put this successfully pass. Other than that, okay, you cannot put it, okay, pass just like that. So if you found any issues, you have to fail this test case. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Fail the test case and report that issue to lead. Once you get, if you're opening too many issues, check with the developer, or lead and see how you can, solve that. Okay, so let's move to the next one. So pretty quick, we'll be moving here. So there is something called bug life cycle. Okay, there's a bug life cycle, and we actually, we actually dealt with this bug life cycle, and what we are talking here is about, let's go here. So we are talking about this, status of this defect, okay, defect state. So let's see here what happens. Okay, so I hope everyone can see here. Okay. So good. Okay, so here's the thing. So here, whenever you open this defect, it will be the new status. Okay. Once you move, you have to change it to open. Okay, as I told you, right? You have to always change it from submitted to open. Once it's open, then you have to assign to particular developer. Okay. Once you assign to the particular developer, now developer will be looking into it and see if there's really an issue or not. If there's no issue, then we just right away reject it. This will be rejected. If it's an issue, then there is one more option supposed to be here, fixed. Okay, once it gets fixed, it comes back to you. Again, you need to test here. Once you test, you verify and then close it. Okay, so this is a happy path. If it is here, this will happen. But it's not really always the same case. If you assign it to developer says, no, this is a big issue. We are not going to do in this release. We are not moving with this, then they'll defer this defect. That means it go to the next release or next, whenever it's important or whenever developer thinks that it should go, it gets deferred. That's the meaning of deferred. Okay, so that's what happens. Now, once you've tested it, now if you test it, now developer said it is fixed and you tested it and you reopen. Now you have to be very careful when you reopen this issue, because developer is really not looking to reopen. Okay, if you are reopening, this will be getting a bigger and bigger, because here the manager will be looking at why it was reopened when it was fixed. Okay, now it might be scenarios where you have to reopen. Okay, so what happens is there might be some things like non-reproducible defects or something, and if it's not really, you need to really take a go to the developer, check it out, have a meeting saying that this is the issue that's happening, but this was not fixed. Okay, so that's how you reopen it. Because if you're reopening it, make sure you coordinate with your developer. If you're not coordinating it, then it gets rejected, and that becomes a big issue, because that was supposed to be fixed, and why is it showing up again? Okay, so. Okay, so so that's pretty much. Okay, so any questions so far? So that was, we were talking about this. Okay, so we were actually defect bug life.
I do have questions.
Sure.
Yeah, how to do practically the waterfall system, and then waterfall method, and yeah, I saw so many methods there. Could you do the practically that one? Is the next class?
Yeah. So see, the thing is, there's nothing like practically. Okay, that is actually theoretical view, because that's a framework. Okay?
Yeah, I understand that. We'll do that one, no problem. But no, we're gonna see that one practical too. But no, we after this class, we'll after 1 or 2 months later, we'll go in practical field. That time we will do in the practical field, right? That's why we need to do how to do this one. And they will ask us, and they will practically do that one. That time we're not gonna do the surprise that oh, what is this? I'm not gonna do that one. It's not nobody will like that. That's why I'm telling like that.
See, the thing is, the only way to get used. So that's a theoretical point, right? That's a theoretical, because.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's not a tool, something. It's not a software. It's actually management perspective. It's management.
Oh, got you.
Yeah, management decides that. Management
okay.
Decides you have to do this, you have to do that. All this is management perspective. So.
We're not gonna do that. The practical things, right?
We're not going to do that. But only way to understand is to be in the system.
Yeah. What is the waterfall system? What is that is method, right?
Okay. Yeah, only way the way you understand is once you go to project, you are you have to understand the system, the environment, how you're working on. The only way you can understand. So that's the only way. Because it's management perspective.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. I mean, yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that's how that's how I learned. Okay, so even I was very I didn't even understand what is this methodologies and all those things. The only way I learned is by by just working on projects, and only then you can understand what is this. That's right.
Gotcha. Okay. But we understand several things, but no. I mean, we are looking so many, we are watching so many things over there, but no, we are kind of confusing what is that, what is that, what is that. That's why I'm asking that questions.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because there's so many things you'll be working on, so many at work you'll be having lot of things. Okay, not just one or two, so many things and so many tools and software
Yeah.
coordination.
Gotcha.
Okay, so that's the reason. Yes, you want to do that too. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Any more questions? Anyone? Okay. If no questions, can we close this class for today? Because you guys have one more class, I guess, right? So we just don't want to take that time. And yes, you will be having all these documents. You can go ahead. Okay. I'll be giving you access by today. So this will, so actually the directory is 26th. Okay. And these are all documents you'll be having here, and you can just refer it and see if it's useful for you. Okay, that is 26th. Okay. If no questions, can we close this class?
Yeah, we don't have any question, but you can close it there. Thank you.
Okay.
You have a wonderful day.
Okay.
How are you?
Good, good.
Okay. Thank you.
How are you?
How?
How are you?